Good morning, I'm Rob King for 4 News Now. We are doing a fun little interview today ahead of Robyn Nance's special report airing tomorrow morning on Good Morning Northwest. Robyn's taking a look at a recent string of vehicle and pedestrian collisions, trying to look at what's causing this and what can be done. We have a little teaser to show you real quick right here.
Car versus people. It's a story 4 News Now reports all too often.
There's no area of town that's immune to this problem.
Why does it keep happening, and how can we stop it? I'm Robyn Nance. I'm talking with Spokane Police to get answers. Tomorrow at 6 on Good Morning Northwest.
And we have Robyn Nance right here talking a little bit about it. Robyn, thanks for hopping on with me. Let's just talk about real quick, why was this a topic that you found interesting and wanted to tackle?
Well, for a couple of reasons. First of all, I feel like we're constantly hearing about what we call autopeds, auto pedestrian crashes, cars crashing into people. I feel like we hear about them so often. And then a study recently came out within the last couple of weeks that said U.S. pedestrian deaths, people hit by cars, are at a 40-year high. And so we wanted to kind of delve into why is that, and why are we seeing what we're seeing? You know, is there any one particular area of town that's more apt to see these kinds of crashes? And so we just started poking around, and it's kind of surprising to me, because if you think about where are we seeing all the people? Is it around schools? Is it around the city core? And what we found with talking to Spokane Police is that it's not concentrated. It's all over, and there's lots of reasons for it. And also, because they are so spread out, it makes it really hard for them to do emphasis patrols, to say, oh, this is our target area. There's a whole bunch of people getting hit by cars. Let's show up there. Let's do, some kinds of patrols, whether it being, cars that you actually see, police cars sitting out to make people slow down or whatever. Excuse me. But they can't do that because they're just all over. So
right, where normally when they do emphasis patrols, they know oh, we get a lot of crashes in this, intersection. So let's do emphasis patrols in this area. Let's do DUI checkpoints here. But so you're saying that they can't really narrow this down to one specific part of town, that it's happening all over. Yeah. Did they point to why it seems to be up?
A lot of reasons. Some of them being what we think about. Oh, look, my head is in my phone.
Oh, and we're all guilty of it.
And not just the drivers. We were talking about how, pedestrians are just walking out, the heads in their phone, walking out, not paying attention. So it's not all that it's the driver's fault. So we kind of look at that too. It's well, generally when you think about it, if I step out into traffic, pedestrian has the right of way. We've heard that for many, many years, but that's not always the case either. If you are crossing at a crosswalk and the light isn't in your favor, you don't get to do that. Or if a person's turning, it's really both parties could be at fault depending on the situation. A lot of times cars are obviously more at fault. They are need to try to defer to the walker. But it's very interesting. It's that, it is the phones, it is speed, it is the interesting thing, I don't touch on it, but what's in this article that I did check out was in NPR, that they're trying to blame even bigger vehicles, SUVs, more SUVs on the road. And I think when I asked Spokane Police about that, I said, well, this article states that it's bigger vehicles could be a problem. He said, well, it's not. He said, I don't want to point to it's bigger vehicles because, causing these crashes, but if you have a bigger vehicle, there could be a lot more damage, a lot more physical damage with speed. Of course, if you're going faster, the chances of you hurting someone worse are there. Also, being a heavier vehicle, the chances of somebody getting hurt worse is obviously prevalent.
Sure, and I'd imagine those bigger vehicles probably have more blind spots as well, where you may not see someone as clearly as you would if it was a smaller vehicle. Did SPD say that they're seeing a similar or kind of a corroborating trend locally as we are nationally for this?
Yeah. In fact, in the little teaser piece that you showed, when I was talking to Corporal Nick Briggs, who was the spokesperson for the Spokane Police Department, he talked about just the vast numbers. He said, by the time I talked to him, which was, a week or so ago, at that point last year, there had been 64 auto pedestrian crashes, not all deaths, but 64. The exact same time period this year, 91.
Oh my gosh.
So we're looking at, almost a third more cases. And yeah, he said absolutely they are seeing that.
And we're halfway through the year. That's on track for over 180. That'd be one every other day for the year.
It's pretty awful. It is
Oh my
pretty
gosh.
awful.
I know
And
we report on it regularly as well.
We do, yeah, and you're hearing about it, all the time. And I feel like just last week we sent, a photographer out to a crash, and then, it was the week before that, and the week before that I was on vacation, and we had, one that was like, we had a deadly crash. And it's not just the city of Spokane. I mean, this is countywide, and it's obviously it's countrywide, so it's pretty awful. But Corporal Briggs did talk about 3 factors when they look at traffic safety, and we call them the 3 E's. And that's what my part of my story will also be tomorrow morning on Good Morning Northwest is, what are those 3 E's and how they can help reduce auto pedestrian crashes.
Got it. So I know you probably don't want to give them out now. People can watch the special report and learn.
You can watch. I will tell you
E's.
that one of the E's is education, which to me, it's kind of like, well, that seems like a no-duh kind of a thing, but it is what we're doing even with this report, is like making people more aware. You all know you can get hit by a car and it can be really, really bad, but sometimes it's a reminder of like just how bad it can be and how dangerous it can be. So one of the E's is education. I'll say that.
Especially if someone sees a special report and goes, "Oh, I'm guilty of being on my phone in a crosswalk." If we can save one life that way, it'll have done of service.
Yes, I agree. We'll never know, but we will certainly hope that that's the case.
Awesome. Well, Robyn's special report airs tomorrow on Good Morning Northwest. Robyn, was there anything else that you had to cut for time that you found interesting that you'd like to get out as exclusive content in this interview?
Well, to be honest with you, I wanted to delve into one of the E's a little bit more, but
sure.
You don't always have times. But one of the E's in this is I will add an extra link into my story about finding out more information. So it'll be I wish we had time to like do this whole giant thing about infrastructure and all this other stuff, but you will be able to find more information through this.
Got it. Well, Robyn Nance, thank you so much for joining. Robyn's special report will air tomorrow on Good Morning Northwest. Robyn Nance, thank you for your time.
Yeah, thanks, Rob. Have a great day.
And like I said, Robyn's special report tomorrow, Good Morning Northwest. It will be up on our website following its conclusion. So if you miss it or you come in halfway, you can watch the whole thing up following its conclusion. It's going to be very informative, and we're looking forward to it. Coming up in about an hour from now, we're going to have the KXLY Plus Daily Rundown. I'll take you through some of the top local headlines and give an inside look as to what our team is working on today. Thank you, Robyn, for joining. If you missed some of this interview, this will be up on our website and KXLY Plus shortly as well. So be sure to tune in to the KXLY Plus Daily Rundown coming up in just a little bit here. But for now, live in studio, I'm Rob King for KXLY Plus.